Morning, I hope you're all well. Today I am going to be talking about why I have now decided to quit my plant-based diet. I understand that some people will agree with this and some people won't agree with it, and I think that's absolutely fine. I think everybody is entitled to their opinion, but I'm also entitled not to take that opinion if I don't feel it fits with me. So I'm going to quickly go into why I've decided to quit having a plant-based diet and start introducing animal products back into my diet again. If you're new here, my name is Rachel, solo mum to one, and I do lifestyle vlogs, food hauls and a bit of everything. I do a bit of everything, really. Still trying to figure out my niche, but in the meantime, I'm just going to ramble like I normally ramble. And some people seem to like that. So I've got my cup of tea in my Yoda cup. Because my son wanted me to have a Yoda cup, which he's now gone off Star Wars and apparently is into Ninja Turtles and being a ninja. So there we go. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's move on to why you've clicked on this video. So I went plant-based about a year and a half ago. Well, it hasn't been that long since I've been plant-based, and the reason why I decided to go plant-based was, one, I was hitting 40 and I was researching and reading all these different articles about how a plant-based diet is good for people in their 40s, especially when they're coming up to the perimenopause and menopause. So I thought, oh, I'll give it a try. I also was feeling very bloated and I was feeling very lethargic and I was feeling that I just needed a bit of a change. So I decided to try a plant-based diet. Looking back now, I think that was also an easy option for me to say I'm plant-based, so I didn't have to eat some of the foods, which my eating disorder is obviously still there that I need to fix, and I will fix it because it's not going to beat me. Anyway, I decided to give it a go, and for the first few weeks and first few months, to be fair, I felt great. My bloating went, my digestive system was working properly, I was feeling really good, I was feeling really positive, and I didn't miss any animal products at all. I was learning new recipes, I was enjoying the recipes as well. Everything was going really, really well with it, and my body was reacting to it fantastically. Now, I think partly my body was reacting to it in a good way because I was doing something different with my eating habits. I was feeding it all the nutrients that maybe I've not been feeding before. So as anything, if you see progression in something, you're going to keep doing it. So I did. However, over the last 3 to 4 months, I've started feeling pretty rubbish. And I've also started getting very bored with the food that I've been eating. And even though I've been looking at trying new recipes, it's actually quite expensive. So a little jar of tahini will cost me £2.50 for a little jar like this. And then some of the rest was like, oh, half a cup. It's like, that's bloody the jar. That's the jar. So it's like, it wasn't sustainable. So I kept eating the same foods. And if you eat the same foods long enough, you get bored, right? So I was just getting a bit bored. I was getting a bit fed up. I actually started feeling like I was really restricting myself with food as well. Like my son was having some chicken pasta bake and I was just sat there with sweet potato and veg, and it was just like, and the chicken smelled good. The chicken smelled really good, and I just started feeling like I'm restricting. Anyway, I pushed those thoughts to the side, to the back of my mind, thinking, oh, just forget about it, knowing full well that I've had an eating disorder before and I shouldn't ignore those thoughts of restricting food. I know I shouldn't have ignored it, but I did. And I ignored it for about 3 or 4 months. Now, I'm nowhere near having an eating disorder again, but I feel like I'm starting to have disordered eating again. My son came up to me at the weekend with a tiny little chocolate bar, a little dairy milk from the Heroes box, and I just said, yeah, I'll have it in a minute, and left it on the side until the temptation got the better of him and he ate it. But I should have eaten it with him and I shouldn't have restricted myself for it. So I've been noticing those restrictive thoughts creeping back into my life again. I've also been feeling really run down. I've been feeling really tired. I've been getting a lot more headaches. I feel really lethargic, like I just can't be bothered to do anything at all. I've also noticed that my gums have been receding a little bit and my hair just feels a little bit thinner and it's got darker as well. It just doesn't feel good. And the other day when my son was with his dad, I didn't have any makeup on and I saw my mum and she said, you look absolutely terrible. So cheers, mum. I love you too. But she was right. I looked awful. She said, you just drained in colour. You just had big, massive black bags under your eyes. You just looked awful. And it just got the wheels turning in my head that maybe I need to do a change. I know that my eating disorder is not coming back, but I also know that this is the start of it. When I first had my eating disorder back in 2018 and 2019, it wasn't until 2020 that I recovered. And there's no way that I want to do that again, because it's hard. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do mentally is recover from an eating disorder. It was so difficult, and I don't want to go through that again. Plus, my son is much older now and he will be more aware of what I'm doing, and I don't want him to have a bad relationship with food. So after doing much research and a lot of talking with my mum and a lot of crying with my mum, because I don't want to go backwards, I'm not going backwards. I refuse. I refuse. I'm not doing it. No, I am not accepting it. I'm not moving backwards. There's only one way, and that's going forward. Looking back is only to learn lessons. Going forward is the way to go. So that's what I'm doing. But after having a lot of talking with my mum about my eating disorder thoughts and all that stuff, which I'll go into another video about my eating disorder when I feel a bit more comfortable doing it, because right now I don't feel quite comfortable until I feel better in myself. I then went and did some research about my diet and what I could do differently and how I could make myself feel better. Then I come across all these people on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you know, they're all there. They're all there. Talk about how they stopped being vegan and how they changed. So I went into a deep dive into it. I did all the actual scientific research as well as the actual, you know, social media crap that people put on. And there's me putting it on. There's me doing the same bloody thing. But I saw on there that a lot of people had the same symptoms that I did. The lethargicness, the tiredness, the laziness, the no motivation, my hair feeling horrible, my skin feeling horrible. I mean, I look okay now because I've got a little bit of makeup on, but if I took it off, I just looked completely drained of colour and just feeling not good in myself. I don't feel that I'm thriving in my body. I don't feel like my body is thriving. I also started to experience a lot of brain fog, a lot more anxiety, that I've now been diagnosed with social anxiety, depression, and I'm getting tested for ADHD as well. So I've got all that happening too, and I just don't want to feel this way anymore. Now, I absolutely love animals. I really do love animals. I'm starting to eat animal products again, fish, meat, eggs, dairy, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people might say you haven't done vegan right, or you haven't done this right, and you know, you don't really care for animals. And I do care for animals, but I care about me more. I know that might sound selfish, and I don't really care. I care about me more, and I've got a little boy that I need to be here for. So the plant-based diet isn't helping me thrive in my life, in my body, and keeping me the healthiest way that I can be to be with him and watch him grow, then I'm going to change it. So how much I love animals, I love me more. And if that means that I got to start introducing animal products into my life again to be able to help me thrive and be the best version that I can be, the healthiest version that I can be, and the happiest version that I can be, you're damn right I'm going to do it. So I am going to be adding animal products back into my daily diet. Now, when I made that decision, I chatted to my mum about it, because I do confide in my mum quite a lot, and she thought it was a good idea just to try it. And she also said, if it doesn't work for you, you can always go back and we'll figure something else out. So supportive. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going back and start introducing animal products back into my daily life. I realised again that my thoughts are coming back, because introducing animal products into my life terrified me. It's really, really scared me. Eating chicken again terrifies me. Eating eggs terrifies me. Now, I know that a lot of people that have gone from being vegan to not being vegan also have those kind of thoughts. But obviously, having a previous eating disorder, I don't know whether they're just a normal thought or whether it's a restrictive thought. So what I've decided to do is do it slowly. So this week I added eggs back into my diet. Next week I'm going to add some fish back into my diet. And then the week after I'm going to start adding meat back into my diet. So some people might agree with me about leaving the plant-based diet. And some people, I hope, will say, you've got to do what's best for you. You've got to make sure that you're looking after you. If that means eating animal products, then that's what that means. Now, I'm not going to be eating like loads of fried chicken or beef burgers or buying burgers in a box and processed food. I'm not going to be eating any of that. If I'm going to make burgers, I'm going to make them on my own. I'm going to make homemade burgers. If I have chicken, it'll be grilled chicken breasts. It'll be stir fries. It'll be stuff like that. I'm not going to be going eating loads of ultra processed food because that's just not me, and I don't think my body would actually like that. But I'm doing this not for any reason but my health. That's the only reason I'm doing it, is because I want to be more healthy in my body. I also know that I'm 40 years old and my body is not going to thrive the way that it did when I was 20. Damn it. I was good when I was 20, but I'm 40, my body's changing, I'm going towards the perimenopause and my hormones are going to go all out of whack. And before that happens, I want to make sure that I'm thriving the best way I can, so that when I do hit the perimenopause stage of my life, then I'm healthy and I'm ready to tackle it head on and be the healthiest version I can be. So after doing much research, after doing a lot of thinking and reflecting and everything else that I feel I've needed to do to get myself back on track, I've decided to stop being plant-based and start adding animal products back into my diet. Am I scared? I'm absolutely bloody terrified. Will I do it? Yes, because I've got a son that needs me. That's it. I have a son and I'm a mum, and I feel that majority of mums put their kids first, and I'm putting my kid first by taking care of me so that I can be here to watch him grow, so that I can be here to support him and guide him. And if I'm feeling like rubbish, I can't do the best job I can as his mother, and that is my priority. And I'm purely doing this for my health. And even though I love animals, I love me more, I love my son more, and I've got to look after us, because it is just me. Even though his dad's in his life, it's me and him 90% of the time. I need to be the best version I can be for him. So I don't know why I'm doing that, because he's not there. He's at school. So anyway, if you would like to let me know what you think, and I will respect everybody's opinion on it, then do let me know. So in summary, the reasons why I'm doing this: I'm bloated a lot, I feel awful in myself, I don't feel I'm thriving at the age of 40 that I should be thriving at. It's not to do with any kind of ethical thing, even though I do love and care for animals, I love and care for me more. This is just a personal decision that I am making so that I don't go backwards in towards an eating disorder, and that I thrive and be able to be the healthiest version I can be for me and my son. So that's today's video. So sorry if it's a long one. Why am I apologising? Why am I apologising? I don't need to apologise. If you didn't like it, you would have switched off. So thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me ramble. And I hope you can kind of understand where I'm coming from with it. And I hope that, you know, you might support me in it. But if not, that's okay too. That's absolutely fine. But do let me know in the comments what you think, because I do like to know what other people think. I don't accept it all the time because I feel like everyone's opinion is different, but I would like to know what other people think of my decision, just to see what the world does, really. Just to see what the world thinks, really, of my life. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Even if you've got to this point in the video, I really want to say thank you for listening to me. Don't forget to hit that like button if you do like this video, and I'll do more of these videos that you like. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're not new here but you are yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, join the Facebook group, follow me on Instagram, commented, shared, liked, anything else. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope whenever you're watching this, you are having a good morning, good day or good evening, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.